Professional Bowlers Association present the championship finals of the Showboat PBA Senior Invitational. A personal Frankie May, who averaged 230 this week, outdistancing a field of 450 seniors, will be looking for his second senior title. His main competition may come from the man who is making his 6th championship appearance this year and finished second here the last 2 years, the 1992 Senior Player of the Year, Gene Stus. Welcome, everyone, to the Showboat Hotel, Casino, and Bowling Lanes. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Durbin. Working with me this week is former PBA and ABC Hall of Famer Earl Anthony. Earl, you certainly have enough experience with this tournament. You won it back in 1990.
Well, they finally let me win one after 7 seconds here, Mike. It was a pleasure to finally win one. The senior tour is a strong tour, a lot of talented players, and it was finally nice to win one.
Well, you know, another thing has happened this week in sports is the baseball strike, and I'm a big Cleveland Indians fan, and I saw a sign recently out of Jacobs Field that said, strikes are for bowlers, and that may be true. We may see a lot of strikes here today.
We may, and especially on this particular pair of lanes here at the Showboat, because it's been very high scoring. We've had some wonderful scores, 9 300 games already in the tournament.
You know, we've already talked about Frankie May and Gene Stus, but there's some other quality players on this telecast, beginning with the number 2 qualifier, Barry Gurney.
And when you talk about talent, he's the only left-hander in the top 5, and he bowled 289 on this pair to qualify second.
And in the number 3 position, we have a very steady Tommy Evans.
Well, steady and tenacious, and if that is really a cliche, well, that's the way it goes, because Tommy is a little pit bull. He won't ever give up. He fights you right down to the last shot of the game.
And speaking of fighters, in our number 4 position, we have a real fighter in Ted Fraley.
Very courageous man and also a very fine player, and he wants to win very badly. Today could be his day.
And in our opening match, we have the former Air Force fighter pilot, Ted Fraley, taking on former Senior Player of the Year, Gene Stus. Lanes 51 and 52 here, Earl, at the Showboat Bowling Center. Pretty good scoring pair. They used to use 59 and 60.
59 and 60 used to be the pair that was my nemesis, Mike. That's from I mentioned earlier, those 7 seconds, and that's where they were at, right over there.
A lot of bad memories over there,
A lot of bad memories.
Gene Stus with that big hook right through the heart of the pins, the 6-7-10 to open the match.
Well, that's a tough open for Gene, and especially when he's going against this guy, Fraley, who's, like I mentioned earlier, really wants to win badly, and Gene is the guy that hooks the ball a lot. Fraley's the guy who goes up the boards. The edge, in my opinion, is to Fraley in his opening match, even though Gene has all the experience.
9 out, gets the 6-pin over near it. Has to loosen up Fraley just a little bit to start the match.
Well, he's a kind of an unknown quantity right now. He's, as we talked about, he's a very courageous guy. He feels that throwing a bowling ball under pressure isn't anywhere near like being shot at. So let's see how he handles this different kind of pressure, bowling for his first title.
Solid 10 right up the boards. Very steady square game. Shoulders look level. A nice little arm swing.
Classic stylist, you might say, Mike. Reminds me a lot of you. He gets to the foul line really well balanced, gets the ball out front of him well, and gets a good, heavy side roll on. He'll go cross lane. He switches bowling balls to the ball that won't hook. Cross lane for the 10-pin.
Do you recommend that, switching balls like that?
Well, I do on today's balls, today's surface bowling balls. 10, 15 years ago, very few people did that. But nowadays, Mike, I think it's a necessity based on the way the balls react. And here's a look at Fraley. Now, you can see where he holds the ball perfectly level, waist high. And as we go into the shot here, you'll see that he takes a real good approach, good push away here. And here's the arm position again at the right level, and the great balance and the good knee bend.
And when we get back to live action, he gets a wonderful break as the washout was up there, and he got the domino back on the 1-2-4.
Here's back to live action, like you mentioned, Mike, the replay of that last shot, and the good pin action. You see it come out of the pit there and kick out the 1-2-4.
Big break there. Back to the 10-pin, much easier spare, needless to say.
The opening jitters for both players. I think once we get going, we talked about high scores, and we're going to see them. There'll be plenty of good numbers for you folks today. Maybe that 300 game we talked about. Wouldn't that be nice?
Not this game, anyway.
Not this game, but we got a lot of games left. Here's the guy that has done it in the past. He's bowled 300 on national television.
A little better shot, leaving the soft 10 there.
The story on Gene Stus, if you talk to the other players who respect his abilities tremendously, is what they say is if Gene's hitting half pocket with his first shot, he's dangerous. When he's hitting solid, you can beat him because he doesn't seem to carry. When he hits solid in the pocket, his ball actually overhits. When he's half pocket, he carries extremely well. Now take a look at Gene Stus going to the foul line. We'll let him go now and watch him. The important thing about Gene Stus is his upper body strength right here. Tremendous strength in the upper body. And then as he gets to the foul line, what he doesn't do is bend the left knee very well because he has knee problems. He tends to want to catch himself with his right foot, and he's off balance most every shot. But he compensates with ball speed.
Compensates pretty well. Gets that light mixer strike in the third frame for the first strike of the match. Ted Fraley, who was a fighter pilot in Vietnam, won the Distinguished Flying Cross over there. He tells me that it goes in Congressional Medal of Honor, the Silver Star, and then the Distinguished Flying Cross. So,
well, there's no doubt he has the courage. Just whether or not he can carry the corner. That's what we have to see. And there's the first strike of the match.
Looked like he had a little softer speed, a little smoother release on that shot to me.
Well, he's really a steady player, and I think, again, it's nerves. Once you get going, once Ted gets relaxed a little bit more out there, he's going to keep it in play. He's going to hit the pocket time after time, and it's going to come down to whether he carries the 10-pin and, of course, whether Gene Stus can keep his ball speed firm enough to stay in the pocket, because he does hook the ball a lot.
Fraley up by 10, trying to increase it to 20. And does with a solid strike there in the fourth frame. Ted Fraley now up by 20 pins. Earl and I'll be back right after this.
Just one more strike for a 300 game.
For the inside track on your favorite bowlers, become part of the PBA Fan Club.
All fan club members receive the PBA Media Guide and short programs along with your official membership card. Also, for a limited time only, this Mini and Ants Club poster is included.
So don't wait. Call today. Call 1-800-299-4PBA for your membership in the PBA Fan Club.
We've brought you here for a little chat about your teeth and some good news. An instrument made to get between teeth that you can comfortably use at home. The new generation Crest Complete. The first Crest created a brush to fit your teeth, designed to penetrate and clean far between them. Now new Crest Complete goes even farther than before. The better you care for your teeth, the more you and your dentist can enjoy these little visits. New Crest Complete, the dentist's choice for rippled brushes.
The PBA Showboat Senior Invitational is brought to you by the Crest Complete Toothbrush. Crest Complete helps maintain a dentist clean. Gene Stus trailing by 20 pins in this match. Needs to get something going to get right back in the match.
And you can count on Gene Stus to fight back. There's nothing, he'll get back in this match. It's just, again, it comes down to Fraley. Fraley's the key to this match. Gene Stus is going to be there. Fraley has to make things happen for him. He has to shoot a good score to beat this guy.
Ball crept a little high, left a 4-pin. Gene switches balls to go straighter at the 4-pin. Pretty straight.
Pretty straight, yeah. A lot more oil in the middle. The lane conditioner is 39 feet of oil for bowling on 3-pound 7 and 3-pound 8-ounce pins. Tournament pins, you might call them. That's what the Showboat saves for this type of play. This being one of the premier tournament centers in the country.
And you can see that Stus trailing by 20 pins as he heads to the 5th frame. Gets a lot of room. Here it comes. And he carries that light hit, which he does regularly.
That's where Gene wants the ball to end up. That's where he wants it. He wants it half pocket because the ball hits so hard for him that he carries all those hits. He doesn't want it solid in the pocket. On the other hand, Fraley wants it solid. He wants it right in the pocket area, real high and solid in the pocket because he has that forward roll going up to the pocket.
Fraley trying for 3 in a row. Right up the boards. Right solid in the pocket. You know, he has a chance to win here. We talked to him earlier about how important it was for him to win, and this was what he had to say.
Well, I guess you'd have to say it's very important. You know, when I was young, I wanted to bowl. I was ready to go on tour and give it a try then. I went into service. I spent 20-some years in the service, so obviously I haven't had the chance to do that. So I've never had that chance to prove to myself whether or not I have that ability. And I realize this isn't the same as bowling on the regular tour, but at least it's against some great competition. And so it would just be really important to be able to win a tournament.
And he took a step toward that win by tripping up that 4-pin.
Well, this is one of the poorer shots he's made. He actually tugged this ball within the oil, and it stayed there. Here, a little more ball speed for Gene Stus, and not quite enough to carry the 7-pin out. Gene is fast getting into a hole that he won't be able to climb out of, it looks like, Mike.
Yep. A little high on that lane the last time, and now a little light. The back and forth adjustments that pro bowlers make.
And running out of frames very quickly here. Careful.
He missed that in the 10th frame last night in the position round. He missed that 7-pin. He still snuck into the top 5 anyway.
Beat out a Hall of Famer, Dave Davis, by just a few pins to get to that 5th spot. Here's the 6th frame for Gene Stus on lane 51 at the Showboat, and he has to get it going now, Mike. It's running out of frames.
Boy, that one overreacted, didn't it? 3, 6, 7.
And that's typical of the shot, the way it's been all week. So just a major mistake there by Gene Stus. And what he's left here is the 3, of course, the 3, 6, 7. And the idea here is to get the ball in this area, right here, this pin to slide over here into the 7, and you can cover the spare.
He's got a chance. Oh, he hits it too thin, leaves the 7, and Gene Stus has dug himself almost an insurmountable hole. Can he come back? I rather doubt it, but we'll find out right after this.
What's America's #1 selling minivan? What minivan is around $16,900 with all this and is only at your Dodge dealer? Answer, Dodge Caravan. So go get the family. For all the answers, see your nearest Dodge dealer today. Question, what car changed everything? What truly remarkable car comes at a price you can afford and only at your Dodge dealer? Answer, Dodge Intrepid. I'll bet you knew that. For all the answers, see your nearest Dodge dealer.
The 94 Oldsmobile summer clearance is something special. Traditional year-end values, a tremendous selection. Plus, if you buy now, you'll beat the 95 price increase. Dollars and cents. In fact, you can save hundreds of dollars and cents. And these 94 Oldsmobiles are already great values. But hurry. While the inventory's good, the year-end values are better. And these Oldsmobiles will be moving fast. Don't miss the Oldsmobile summer clearance. Going on now.
Well, the National Tour will be back with us next Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern Time with the Sherwin-Williams Classic in Bedford, Ohio, right near my hometown. Ted Fraley just cruising along right here with a 54-pin lead. He just basically needs to stay out of trouble, keep it in the fairway, huh?
And yeah, there you go. And the word that you said that's key for his game is basic. Everything is basic. Good, solid 5-step approach. Good balance at the foul line. That one he tugged that one almost as badly as he tugged the ball before on lane 51 where he tripped the 4-pin, if you remember. This time he leaves the 6-pin. Got a break. Last pin down. Watch the ball through the middle of the head pin. Watch the left side of the screen. And the last pin down is a 7 on that side.
Kind of looked like he was almost playing defensive there. You know, hit the head pin, get 9, which he did.
Well, I don't think he expected to have this kind of a match with Gene Stus. I think anybody out here expected Gene Stus to be the man to beat through the stepladder finals. And Fraley right now is probably thinking, hey, this isn't the Gene Stus I bowled against before. Something isn't right here. And maybe you're right, Mike. Maybe he hasn't had his coffee yet. What do you think?
We were talking about that in between. He's not awake yet. You know, it's too early for him.
There's a little better shot there. Gave a little more room, let it roll up, and carried the corner pin.
Boy, snapped that weak 10 out of there just nice.
It reminds me of you.
Yeah, right.
He does. Yeah. That good, solid foundation of the foul line and the good forward roll.
I'm sure I must have carried that once in my career.
He's probably you could be his idol. You know, that's possible. That he's copied your game.
Gene Stus taking a little extra time getting up, looking at the rack. Oh, he's asking for a re-rack on lane 52. He's basically in the position that he has to take it out the sheet and hope that Fraley opens twice.
Well, yeah, that kind of surprises me. Gene would take a re-rack at this point in the match. Of course, if the pins were way off spot, it would make sense. But if they're just slightly off, being down as much as he is with just 3 frames to play.
Best shot of the match right there. Waits for the applause and kind of shakes his head. A little wry smile. If he wants any chance, as he's 53 pins down, he must strike here in the 9th frame. Scoreboard tells the story right there. Fraley, very professional game. Stus with uncharacteristic mistakes. And a bad break to boot. Right on pocket 710. He says, where's the airplane?
Well, Gene's had a wonderful career here on the senior tour, and he's going to have a lot more good things happen. Today's just not his day.
Well, he can say the only thing good about this is he finished second here the last 2 years. He won't finish second this year. So
good point. Here's a chance for Mr. Fraley to finish out the match and get a little more accustomed to bowling in front of the television cameras, which is always a little nerve-wracking for a player the first few times. Maybe the best shot of the match right there, Mike. What do you think?
Well, he's just nice and relaxed now, and you know, he's got that nice square game with Tommy Evans coming on. We got two players that are very similar in style, both of them going down the boards and square players. And
good point.
Keep it pretty straight.
Very fundamental games. Yeah, they just they strip the game down to its essentials. They just get the job done. You see he holds the ball off his right-hand hip. It's a good look at him from the front. A good short arm swing to keep it under control right there. Good balance, long follow through, and a good result.
Wow.
Now, we're talking again about the shot in the ninth frame, and I said this could be the best shot he's made in the match. Watch, because he gets the ball out in front on this shot, gets rid of it on the upswing, which is important. Right there, it's still on his hand. He got rid of it on the upswing. That's what gives it that little extra kick on the back, and you see that 10-pin kicked out. That's why.
Ted Fraley cruising along, can strike it out for 258. Comes up a little light, leaves the 5.8. He's going to be in the 240s. A very impressive win, his first win on national television. He's going to move on. It's a step-ladder format that we have.
And they don't get any easier. Tommy Evans, as you mentioned, is a stylist. He's a classic player, as much as Ted Fraley is. Should be a great match, this one coming up, Mike.
Well, let's hope it's a little closer than this match. This one kind of got away from Gene early, and he was never able to mount a charge. Gene just finishing out. Needs to strike out for 173, and right now he just wants to get it done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is, let me get out of here. Not a bad payday, though, for Gene Stus. Fifth place, this being one of the higher paying tournaments on the senior.
$5,000, I think he gets for this, and this is his 6th championship round appearance of the year, his 7th time in the top 5.
Out of how many tries? 9?
Yeah. So
pretty good percentage, I'd say.
Obviously, he's a force to be reckoned with here on the senior tour. He's there every week. Just an off night for him and no breaks. He trips the 4 and leaves the 9. An off morning, I guess I should say.
Yeah. Bright and early.
Gene finishes off by making the 9-pin. And when we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit about bat position, something that you were very good at. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
It still bugs me that I waited to try Old Spice High Endurance just because I thought all deodorants worked the same. Dumb. This proves it's the best. Try it. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT and they'll buy you a stick of yours. Take the High Endurance Challenge from Old Spice. I did.
Football fans, get ready for Sports Illustrated's exclusive NFL Team Kickoff Kit. Free with your paid subscription to SI. Just tell us your favorite team. Cowboys! Packers! 49ers, baby. And we'll give you more than ever before. This is incredible! I love it. Your Team Kickoff Kit starts with your official 1994 team video. A free Cowboys video? Free Browns video?
If I got a free Giants video, I'd be the luckiest man in the world.
Oh, man! Where can I get it? It's an inside look at your favorite team. Brought to you as only Sports Illustrated can. And ain't no surprise. Your Team Kickoff Kit also brings you this authentic NFL team cap free. It's an unbelievable football package that no real fan can be without. Call now. Use your credit card. And you'll get 54 issues of SI for only $1.47 an issue. Save over 50% off the cover price. And your incredible Team Kickoff Kit is free. Nobody gets you into football like Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
Boxers aren't born. Bobby Flores, Tony Tubbs, Terrell Biggs, Elijah Tillery, their maid, Frazier, Robinson Cuesta, Charles Murray, Iran Barley, Prince Charles Williams, England Thomas, Michael Clifford Hicks, Buster Douglas, JULCO. When they were ready, they all fought on Top Rank Boxing. See who's ready now. Top Rank Boxing on ESPN.
Where the ball breaks on the bowling lane is absolutely crucial to all bowlers, whether you're amateur or professional. If the ball breaks a little soon, it can run high and throw our shot off. If it breaks too late, it doesn't get up to the pocket, and again, it's a bad result. And there's several different ways that we can use to try and control the break point on the lane. We can do it by speed, increasing or decreasing the speed. We can do it with hand release, making a more turn or less turn release. We can also do it by changing equipment. But you may not want to change equipment. So what I'd like to do tonight is give you two other methods if you'd like to stay with the same ball. Now what I try and do if I want to make the ball break a little sooner and finish a little harder is as I'm going into my slide, I try and arch my back a little bit like so. And what this seems to do is get the thumb out of the ball cleaner and quicker, gets a little heavier fingers on the ball, and the ball breaks a little sooner and harder at the back end. Earlier I threw a shot. Let's take a look at that back position. Walking reasonably tall here. Now as I go into the slide, you can see the back arch right at that point. Thumb is out of the ball. The fingers have lifted it at that point in time, and that ball hooked relatively soon and finished harder. Now what do we do if the lanes are the other way? They start drying up in the evening blocks or in the late league or something like that, and you want the ball to go further down the lane and break later. Well, what I sometimes will do is the exact opposite. Instead of arching the back as I come in here, I let the head and shoulders go a little bit forward, not too much, and I kind of lean forward into the shot this way. And what this does is the thumb doesn't come out quite as quick. I don't get quite as much fingers in the ball. The ball sails further down the lane on that dry lane and breaks later into the pocket. Now again, I threw a shot earlier. Let's take a look at that one. You can see the head and shoulders are already more forward right here. And as I go in, I'm leaning forward into the shot. Thumb and fingers are still in the ball there. The thumb is just barely coming out right now. And the ball went further down the lane and broke later into the 1-3 pocket. So remember, if you want to stay with that same ball, two methods of adjusting. First, you can arch the back to get the thumb out quicker. Second, you can let the head and shoulders lean a little bit forward to get it out later. Two different methods of adjusting. We're going to see you next week on Tuesday night, August the 16th, with the Sherwin-Williams Classic, where we'll have another average builder. And the final score, Ted Fraley overwhelming Gene Stus, 246 to 163. Fraley's going to move on. In his way, Tommy Evans, two straight players taking it on. We'll see what happens.
Meet the Parker twins, Bob and Fred.
Hi.
Identical in every way, except when it comes to taking care of their cars. Bob likes the shine of original Armor All Protector, but not Fred.
I gotta be me.
Fred's discovered the rich, deep finish of new low-gloss Armor All. It protects like original Armor All.
But without the glossy shine.
Original or new low gloss.
Now it's your choice.
Only from Armor All.
Hey, can I try that? More orange juice, Stephen?
Thanks, Mrs. Johnson. I'd love fresh squeeze.
Oh, this is Tropicana Pure Premium Growth Stand.
Really? It tastes like fresh squeeze?
No, it's Growth Stand.
I swear it tastes like
You said it's Grove Stand.
Dad, Stephen says it's fresh squeeze.
You heard your mother's Grove Stand.
Fresh squeeze.
Darlene?
You know, it does taste fresh squeeze.
So what is it? Fresh squeeze or Grove Stand?
I still think that it
Stephen,
tastes...
stay out of this.
Never from concentrate. Tropicana Pure Premium Grove Stand. The taste of fresh squeezed. And also try Pure Premium Original and Homestyle.
You're deep in REM sleep, dreaming the big dreams. Because as Freud said, all men are great in their dreams. Suddenly, you don't feel so great anymore. You'll do the big things later. You hit the snooze bar, you hit the snooze bar, you hit the snooze bar, you hit the shower. You start soaping up with Ghost. Ghost is rocket fuel for the senses. Ghost is a big, bold blast off that turns you back into a human dynamo. Ghost, the eye-opener.
And we can see how our top five did during the course of the week. And Stus made a steady climb on up. Frankie May more or less just dominated, Earl.
He did. He got out in front and just ran away, as you mentioned earlier, Mike. And this is Frankie May's tournament to win or lose, really.
Fraley near the top all week long. His challenge now is, can he maintain it? Or will he be thinking about that 240 game and kind of relishing in it and not concentrate on this game?
I think this man knows how to concentrate. He's been in situations where he's had to concentrate pretty well.
Yeah, you would think so, wouldn't you? Yeah. Good point. Well, it looked like he moved a little further outside on that shot, Earl.
Well, I think more than anything, Mike, he's not really staying with the shot like he was earlier. He's kind of giving it more room, like you mentioned, letting it roll up, and he could start leaving some 10 pins if he does that. The entry angle into the pocket is so key in whether you're going to strike or not. If he gives it too much room, he'll come in behind the head pin and leave some flat 10s.
Gail, his wife, we just saw there, probably gives him advice and telling him, hey, tighten up that line.
Yeah, that could be it,
But she's watched a lot of games over their marriage.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, she's probably glad he's not flying those airplanes anymore.
Yeah.
First look at Tommy Evans, another classic stylist. Good, solid foundation at the foul line. Gets the ball off his hand early, just rolls it up to the pocket. Tommy's game is keep it in play. He doesn't even hook it as much as Fraley does, so we'll take another look at his game. Here he is going to the foul line, and what we want to look at him is where he is at the foul line, so we're going to let him go ahead and go. When he gets to the foul line, watch where the ball is at the foul line. It comes how fast it comes off, how early, right at the bottom of the swing, right here, the ball is leaving his hand. Already, he very seldom gets the ball out over the foul line. You can see he lays it down, actually almost just drags the ball to that point. No lift, just lets it roll off his hand. Tremendous accuracy and real heavy forward roll.
Well, Ted, for the first time in either match, is behind by 10 pins.
Well, the first match was kind of a gimme. Gene Stus, really no competition here for Ted. Now he's got to get it together. He's got to pay attention. As you mentioned, the key word for him right now is concentration.
Boy, he's getting that 10 pin down just nice.
Both players, great entry angle. And I mentioned this many times when I watch bowlers play. It's how the ball enters the pins that determines whether you're going to strike. Rotation is a key, but the importance is look at the angle that's coming in. That's what makes it strike. Very little deflection there. The ball drives straight back through the 5 and, of course, the 9.
So just a slight change in that entry angle can mean the 10 pin or not leaving it?
As you mentioned earlier in your tip, Mike, and I think it was very important. In your average builder tip, the key to what you said, as far as I'm concerned, was in the beginning of that tip, when that was that if the ball is too late, if it hooks too late, it doesn't get back to the pocket or it's behind the head pin. That's your 10 pin. If the ball hooks early, even for a top player, if it hooks a little bit early, that's the 4 pin or the 4-9. So adjusting that entry angle is the key, and you do it like you said, with speed, rotation, loft, or various other things depending on the player. But those are the keys, speed and rotation. There you go. Now that's the biggest break we've seen so far today. Tommy Evans very lucky, and you saw his reaction. And the reason he was so lucky is because he actually pulled this ball well into the oil. He's not even picking up a roll until it's 55 feet down. And then because it is so late, it doesn't go high enough on the head pin to give him the split. He gets the big break, trips out to 4-7, and there's his reaction. And early on in the match, Mike, maybe we're on our way to that 300 with a few breaks like that.
He's going to need a few more breaks like that.
Well, we got a long way to go, but Tommy's capable.
He had a 290 on TV in St. Louis a few years ago.
That's right. Here's another shot that's really rolling well. Got it in half pocket, and he leaves the 7. So bowling can do that to you. Gives you a break, and then it takes it right back. It's a very emotional game, up and down, and the guys that can control their emotions, keep their concentration, usually do quite well in this sport. If you can't, there's no defense, so you just get out there and take your lumps.
And speaking of breaks, Ted Fraley got that Brooklyn strike for a double in the third frame, big break. Now we'll see whether he can take advantage of it as he comes up next.
Well, I think Ted was aiming over there, Mike.
Oh, okay. That's a demoralizer shot for Tommy Evans. Is that it? Okay.
That's it. That's all that was. That was a little play. See if Tommy was paying attention. That's all. Let's see if Ted can get it back now. He's been very fortunate to this point that Gene Stus didn't give him more of a match than he got, and right now Tommy Evans is going to give him maybe more than he wants. A little more speed here.
Beautiful shot. Gail shows her approval. She applauds that shot, and she says, now, honey, make the right adjustment here on lane 51.
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
Boy. All right, well, This is the lane he struggled the most with. Even in his earlier match, the first match with Mr. Stus, he had problems with this lane. Remember, he missed the head pin to the right on one shot, made an adjustment, and got it up a little high in the head pin, then made the adjustment back the other way, gave it more room. It rolled early, it rolled late. Let's see what he does here. More ball speed, a little more direct, ball hooked early, 4-6.
See, he did. I was thinking that he should, with that Brooklyn boy, that he should move in more to the oil, and he just didn't do that, did he?
It looked to me like you're right. He didn't move. He just stayed basically where he was and tried to throw it a little harder. Watch the ball get out on the lane in the air a little more. See him kind of standing up at the line? That means he tried to get a little more ball speed. The problem is when you stand up at the line, you lift it sooner. And when you lift it sooner, the ball hooks earlier.
Big shot there by Ted Fraley. Could have taken the lead in the match. He opens, and now he trails by a few pins right now.
Well, here's a guy that's a grinder. Tommy Evans is going to keep grinding away. He's going to keep throwing the ball, keep it in play, keep it in the pocket area. Very seldom will he beat himself.
Well, it doesn't look like he puts his thumb all the way in the ball, Earl.
Well, he almost gave it back, didn't he?
Yeah, he tried to. Right.
Today's our day. Every time one of us says something, Mike, let's see the opposite happens. Now, I just got through saying he's going to keep it in play and not get in trouble, and he hits the middle of the head pin. Got a break, leaving only the 6 pin. Cross lane here. As you see the bowlers switching bowling balls, they take a hard shell bowling ball that's fairly shiny, doesn't grip the lane, so they can go straight at their spares. Ideal, obviously, is just hit it. All you have to do on a spare is to hit it. And Tommy got a little careless and got away with it again. That's twice he's made mental errors and got away with them.
Wowee. I thought he'd missed that shot.
And you can see him talking to himself a little bit there, and I'm sure he's not being very nice in what he's saying either. You know, this is when you start saying, come on now, let's pay attention here. If you want to win this, get aggressive, make good shots.
Something positive like that.
Something positive. Be aggressive. Make good shots. Go out and win it. Don't give it away.
6 frame.
A little better shot here. Not quite enough back end to carry the 10, though, Mike.
So soft 10. He loses another pin and count. He makes this. It will be an 11-pin difference, and we've still got a close match with 4 frames left to go.
Well, Tommy Evans has already made some adjustments on the lane. He keeps moving left with his feet, getting into the oil a little deeper.
So why is he doing that?
Well, I think he's afraid of the nose. He's hit the nose twice now and got away with it both times. He's been very fortunate.
Tommy Evans converts the 10-pin in the 6th frame. He leads by 11 pins right here. Ted Fraley can mount a comeback. We'll find out what happens right after this.
One price.
Put it on a Big Mac.
Take it down.
Wait a second. Maybe it goes in a quarter pounder with cheese.
Take it up.
Get your choice of McDonald's Big Mac, cheeseburger, quarter pounder with cheese, or McChicken extra value meal, each just $2.99.
What do you think?
Oh, that looks good. Do that.
What?
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
If you demand more from an aftershave than alcohol burn, you gotta try alcohol-free sensitive with cooling sensates. It's proof aftershave doesn't have to hurt to work. Take the heat out of aftershave. Demand proof. Try alcohol-free sensitive from Old Spice.
With Fixodent, I can stay active and as confident as I need to all day.
Even in the hottest liquids, when other adhesives stop holding, Fixodent holds stronger and longer.
That's why I Fixodent and forget it.
I like to play against Stefan very much. He does seem to bring out the best of my game. Michael is a great player to watch play. His biggest strength is his movement.
The Thriftway ATP Championship today at 2 on ESPN.
Mike Durbin along with Earl Anthony here at the Showboat Hotel and Bowling Center. We're in the 6th frame of the 2nd game, and Ted Fraley trails by 11 pins. Hold that one, Earl.
Well, his tempo is off a little bit right now, and that's his biggest problem. He's getting to the foul line a little quick there. You saw him, if you were watching very closely, you saw that because he got to the foul line a little faster than normal, he was off balance, had a little hop there, and that's always going to make the ball go left. Get there quickly, ball comes off early, it's going to go left.
Cross lane at the 6-10. You suppose the fact that he wasn't challenged in the first match is affecting him in this match?
I would think so. That's a good point. I think, Mike, that maybe mentally he wasn't up for this match because the first one wasn't what he expected. I'm sure he expected Gene Stus, like all the rest of us, to be much more of a challenge in that first game. And now here he is with Tommy Evans, and Tommy really isn't doing much after the first 3 shots. And in the third frame, he was fortunate to get the third 3-bagger. So neither player really bowling up to their expectations on this very high-scoring lane condition.
And again, Fraley trying to do lane 51 with speed instead of moving his feet high again.
Yeah, and you know, the lanes, with the bowling ball, the surfaces they use now, these bowling balls, adjusting your speed is only for those that can really throw it hard. These kind of players, these are senior players. Not very many of them can overpower a lane condition. The idea for them is to actually make the adjustments. They have to be smarter making ball selection and moving on the lanes, Mike, rather than trying to overpower the surface with ball speed.
Tommy Evans right now showing his experience by playing more into the oil on both lanes than Ted Fraley is. He still creeps high there. Boy, they're both just struggling right now.
They are, and I think he was very surprised. You can see by his reaction, he was surprised at the ball's reaction. He thought that would skid more. As you mentioned, he moved farther to the left, more into the middle of the lane where the oil's heavier, expecting the ball to go farther down the lane, and it actually hooked a little earlier than he expected, and that's where he's going to put through the middle headpin. This is not an easy spare. Going cross lane here at the 3-6-10.
Both of them have left that successive frames.
And he covered it well.
You know, he made a recent discovery in his style that's helped improve his game, and I had a chance to talk to him about it earlier. This is what he said.
I was rummaging through the closet, and I stumbled on some 8mm film, and I looked at it, you know, stumbled through it, and I looked at it, and I saw that it was bowling. And I had it transposed over onto VHS, and it was me bowling back in 71, and I noticed that some of the things I was doing back then I'm not doing now. So I started working on my game, trying to do the things that I was doing back then.
And the primary thing that he was talking about that he was doing then that he wasn't doing now was keeping that trail foot on the floor.
Something that you did in your game, Mike, which was very important. That's a good key for most players to keep. It's good for your balance, and it gets you stability at the foul line, and it almost always creates more lift and more direction.
All right, big shot there by Ted Fraley. Maybe the biggest shot of the week, though, coming up for him right now.
I agree, Mike. This is the foundation frame, the 9th frame, on a strike, a chance to almost even the match. Down by 11 at this point.
He's been high twice over here. What does he do?
He's got to move left, and I think you have to agree. He's got to move left into the oil a little more. He keeps trying to throw it harder, and that just is not his style of play. He has to move left, give the ball a chance to skid a little longer. He did move left. To see how it works for him.
Oh,
great shot.
The adjustment.
Especially, as you mentioned, at this point in the match. This is a key shot. He had to have that strike. Made a wonderful shot. Not only a great adjustment, but a great shot. Threw it with confidence.
One-10 match now.
That's what it's all about. When you make an adjustment, feel you made the right one, make the shot with confidence. Otherwise, you never know if it was right or wrong.
So what's Tommy do on this right now?
Tommy has to keep his speed up here. He made the good adjustment, but then he got soft with the shot. Good speed here is key for Tommy. That's a good shot.
Boy, both players responding to the pressure of the situation. Tommy Evans getting the double in the 9th frame to bump that lead back out to 11 pins.
And here
perfectly
you see it.
Balanced.
Good balance, good follow-through. That long follow-through, you saw him. Mike mentioned the balance, and that's a key thing, and there's his reaction.
Tommy Evans now can finish this out for 233 and shut out Ted Fraley. Actually, he can take it up for 244, right?
244 possible. Fraley going at a possible 233 pace. We could have a tie in this match. That strike right there could create a tie. Now, if he were to get 9 spare here, 233, and Fraley were to go off the sheet, anything can happen in this game of bowling, and more often than not, it does.
That's an interesting hit there. Those last 2 times on that left lane, they're identical hits where he just kind of, ball seems almost falling back and blows the 5-pin to the left.
Mm-hmm. Good ball speed, and he's in the oil enough with that. You know, the ball surfaces now, they're going to create friction, and this is a key shot. I should shut up and watch this one with the rest of you. Strike here wins the match.
Well, that's just what you said. 9. We could have a tie.
We could have a tie. And he didn't really release that one the way he normally would have released it. He cut that one off a little bit. In other words, he didn't follow through down the lane, which he normally does. He followed through up over his shoulder, which is basically pulling your hand out of the ball. So he didn't get the good roll on it, and that's the reason he left the 10 pin.
Pressure caused that, Earl?
I think so. He tried to fit that one, and this is key right here. He must pick this up, or he could lose this match. All right.
No trouble. So Ted Fraley has a clearly defined task in front of him.
Pretty obvious what he needs to do. He has to throw 3 strikes to tie the match.
Ooh! What a break.
Let's take another look at that one, folks. Here it comes now. Watch what happens on the right-hand side of the lane. Here comes the ball, a little high in the pocket. Watch the right side of the lane. Out of the pit comes the 3-pin.
That was
back
amazing.
across lane, something you won't see very often. What a time to have a good thing happen for Ted Fraley. Needs this one.
Wow.
2 distinctly different shots there. The first one actually rolled better than the second one. The second one hit harder and was higher in the pockets. What are you going to do? Who knows in this game?
So does he just go right back and throw that same shot he just threw?
He's got to be aggressive. He has to be aggressive on this shot. This is the one to tie the match. Then we go into that 9th and 10th frame roll-off. Got a chance.
Oh, tremendous finish by Ted Fraley. And a roll-off, which is a 9th and 10th frame situation. Tommy Evans will start it off. This is his 9th frame.
Tommy will bowl the 9th frame on lane 51. Ted Fraley will bowl the 9th frame on 52 and then finish his portion of this roll-off on lane 51 with a 10th frame. So he'll finish first, Ted Fraley. Oh, my. Hit him thin and watch him spin, as Billy used to say, and...
well, that's what he's been doing on that left lane, isn't he?
He has, yeah, he has. Now, this is the guy here that...
So how does Ted Fraley come right back down now and reconcentrate?
Well, he just tried to keep it going. I don't think he comes down. If he comes down, he's going to make a bad shot. He's got to keep that same mental aggressiveness right now. Good ball speed, attack the pocket. Got a break.
Got a break. Left just the 3-6. Convertible spare. But it did look like the concentration was not there as it was the 3 previous shots on that lane.
This is where experience comes in, and I think the experience of playing in this kind of competition, the edge goes to Tommy Evans. So must make the spare. Still a possibility of winning this. No question about that.
Oh! And he chops the 3 off the 6. Went to the straighter ball, figuring that he wouldn't chop it there. And basically, he's really opened the door for Tommy Evans.
Tommy Evans really only right now, what he has to do is maintain his aggressiveness. He can't think, oh, I've got this one. That's the biggest mistake he could make mentally at this point. This young man can still shoot 39, which is not a bad score in 2 frames, and Tommy Evans then would need a strike to beat him. Here's one.
Boy, that left lane just carries that light hit. Both players getting that thing over there. 9 in the first frame. 3 strikes would give him 39. Tommy Evans already asking for a re-rack on lane 52.
So much of bowling is mental. Once you get to this stage, when you have this much talent, it's how well you can concentrate and perform under pressure.
Oh, and the solid 8. So basically, Tommy Evans is going to need a mark in the 10th frame to win.
And sometimes, as you know and I know, that's the hardest thing to get.
Yes, that's true.
That's when you start, the worst thing you can do is to be playing safe. You still have to aggressive. Be aggressive. Tommy Evans should go up there thinking, I need 3 strikes. Here comes the first one.
Finishes with 29. Tommy Evans, a spare strike, will move on, face Barry Gurney.
Tommy Evans right now is thinking, strike. I'm going to throw a strike.
Leaves the blowing 7 pin, so it's still not over.
No, if he misses this, he loses. That pin looks pretty small right now down there.
Pretty simple. I mean, make it, move on, miss it, and lose.
Simple as that. Spares have been more difficult, actually, than strikes this week. Cross lane, right at it. Hang on.
Woo! His heart starts beating again. So Tommy Evans is going to move on to face Barry Gurney. We're going to take a break right now. We'll be back for our semifinal match. Don't go away.
Mazda's most affordable sale ever means you get super slashed savings on brand new 94 Mazda cars and trucks. Nobody beats our prices on hot 94 two-wheel and four-wheel drive trucks. With you financing just $64.88. Mazda 626s loaded with everything. Just $169 a month. And Mazda Proteges starting at $159 a month. Super slashed savings prices on all 94 Mazdas in stock at Continental Mazda. But hurry, supply is limited.
Treat your family to a great night out at Pizza Town in Elizabethtown. Choose from a large menu featuring selections such as round and Sicilian pizza, Italian stromboli and calzone, chicken, hamburgers, steak sandwiches, hot and cold subs, delicious side orders, and thirst-quenching drinks. Take advantage of our Monday night NFL football special and enjoy a large pizza for only $5.99. And on your way out, don't forget to pick up a cold six-pack to go. There's something for everyone at Pizza Town in Elizabethtown. We make eating fun.
Some other players have done very well this week, as we see a warm-up shot there by Frankie May. And we're going to take a look at our top 24 here in just a second so we can show you who else made some money in this tournament. There they are. As we mentioned earlier, Hall of Famer Dave Davis just missed. Another quality left-hander, Rich Holden there. And John Handegaard just keeps rolling along, doesn't he, Earl?
John Handegaard has found a way to make a lot of money throwing a bowling ball. Sam Lavelle from San Jose, one of his best finishes, and Denny Torgerson. I used to bowl with Denny a long time ago. Dick Nardoza's been around forever and still bowling well.
And in 11th place, I get this name, Takayuki Ryu from Japan, Tokyo, Jimmy Certain, and Richard Beatty.
Richard Beatty, one of 5 lefties to make it this week. Ron Winger, who's proven he can still play this game quite well, and Bob Alstott, basically a rookie out here. Bill Johnson, who's been around a long time, plays better golf than he bowls, believe it or not.
He's having trouble putting, though. Jack Wallish in 18th place. Harry Pallas in 19th, and a good friend of mine from years ago, Walt Block, in 20th.
Don Johnson, a Hall of Famer from right here in Las Vegas. Tita Semez going on forever and ever and ever, and that SS means super senior, along with Bob Cuisine, and these guys are still bowling well in their 60s.
And in 24th place, John Marlowe, our alternate, Gaylord Shehorn from Illinois. So there you have it. A good paying tournament here, Earl.
One of the best. This is the Showboat, and they always do things right at the Showboat.
And see Frankie May warming up a little bit there. And our next match is going to feature Barry Gurney taking on a more relaxed Tommy Evans right now. We'll be back to see the outcome of that right after this.
Pringles Light has become Pringles Right Crisps. Still a third less fat, and now better taste than this.
That's right! Got new Pringles Right Crisps! That's right! Less fat and better taste than this! That's right! Better taste than less grease the fruits right here you see! That's right! It's time to give up some of life! Pringles Right Crisps, the taste of here! Pringles Right Crisps, the taste of here!
Debbie, these shots are fabulous. Beautiful, Debbie.
Better than the last time, Tony?
Absolutely. It's my job to make sure people look good. A few weeks ago while doing test shots with Debbie, I noticed something. Dandruff. So I told her about Head & Shoulders. You see, regular shampoos merely rinse flakes away, so they could come back. But look, Head & Shoulders help stop flakes from even forming. See the difference? Yeah, picture perfect. Head & Shoulders turns dandruff problems into beautiful hair.
Football fans, get ready for Sports Illustrated's exclusive NFL Team Kickoff Kit. Free with your paid subscription to SI. Just tell us your favorite team.
Cowboys! Packers! 49ers, baby.
And we'll give you more than ever before.
This is incredible! I love it!
Your Team Kickoff Kit starts with your official 1994 team video.
Free Cowboys video? Free Browns video?
If I got a free Giants video, I'll be the luckiest man in the world.
Oh, man! Where can I get it?
It's an inside look at your favorite team. Brought to you as only Sports Illustrated can.
And ain't no surprise!
Your Team Kickoff Kit also brings you this authentic NFL team cap free. It's an unbelievable football package that no real fan can be without. Call now. Use your credit card. And you'll get 54 issues of SI for only $1.47 an issue. Save over 50% off the cover price. And your incredible team kickoff kit is free. Nobody gets you into football like Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
So you traded your sneakers for squeaks. Thought you were great slam dunking. Think you can slam a high, hard one? We'll see.
The first national television coverage of baseball player Michael Jordan tomorrow on ESPN.
We're here at the Showboat and the semifinal match. Getting now down the, started with 450. We're down to 3 bowlers left, Earl.
Isn't that amazing? 450 senior bowlers here at the Showboat Hotel, Casino, and Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. Cut to the 112 after 24 games. They bowled 8 more games. That's our format for the week. It's a 56-game format, which is a long grind for anybody. But for these guys, all of them over 50, some of them in their 60s, a few in their 70s, that's a tough week.
Yeah. Yeah. Some aches and pains at the end of that week, right?
A lot of Excedrin out there.
Our first look at Barry Gurney. He has 1 senior championship, won that in Lansing.
The only left-hander in the top 5, and another kind of a classic style. Gets a lot of roll on the ball, likes to go up the boards, doesn't like to hook it a lot, but he likes good ball speed. He's nice and firm. We're going to look at his style here as he goes to the foul line. From the side, we'll watch him go. Now watch the height of the arm swing and the push away, 5-step approach. This is the key to his game. The shoulders stay square, and here's the height of the arm swing. That's perfect right there. And then he goes on to the foul line and the good balance and the follow through right here. He stays with the shot. Good form.
Got that ball well over the foul line on that particular shot. For the double. Oh, and the solid 7. Well, you started a few of those throughout your career, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, enough of those. I could build my own forest with the wood I left down in the corner. But anyway, he's a good spare shooter, this young man. He'll go cross lane here, and one of the few players that doesn't really switch bowling balls to shoot his spares. He's using the same ball he uses for a strike.
Does he use the same hand release too, Earl?
Basically, he does. He hooks it at the 7-pin, which makes me nervous to watch, but he's been very successful at it. There's a problem with it.
We talked about that. Sometimes that's straight and hard is the best way at it, rather than...
All you have to do is hit it. You don't have to throw a lot of ball to hit a 1-pin spare and knock it down. Tommy Evans gets an early break, courtesy of Mr. Gurney. Chance to double and add to his lead here. And he gives it right back.
Wow-wee. And he's really surprised with that. Was that his speed, or what
that
was it?
That was ball speed. You hit it right on the nail right on the head there, Mike. And we're going to take another look at it. And here, the thing is, he always lays the ball down early, so you can't fault that. That's his style. But the ball speed just wasn't there. He's very soft with the speed. The ball finished high in the head pin and didn't get a break this time. Watch his reaction here. Well, when he let go, he knew it was high, and this time he didn't get away with it. See what he can do with the spare.
Ooh!
He
had it bouncing around over there, didn't he? I'll tell you, that came close to getting that 4-pin.
Let's take a look at that again. Watch what happens here. Watch him slide the 6, cross lane, bounces it off the 9, gets the 7, and if that kicks forward just a little bit, which often does happen, he would kick out the 4-pin.
Did you used to shoot that by shooting the 3, or did you shoot the 2?
I like to shoot the 2. I think it's easier to pick up hitting the 2. Of course, your chances of getting the pin count, especially on a strike or a double, can hurt you if you don't get at least 3 of them.
Crept high again, leaving just a 6-pin this time.
Tommy's not staying down with it now, Mike, like he was earlier. He's coming up at the foul line a little bit, and at his release point, and the follow-through isn't as long and not as reaching to his target as much as he was earlier.
Roll-off have something to do with that? I mean, regrouping, that type of thing, or what?
Well, it's old age, you know? No, I'm just kidding. It's not old age. Here's a look at that. And watch him stand up at the foul line at the point of release here. He's in good position there. Just as the ball leaves his hand, he stands up. And when you stand up, right there, you see him come up off the ball. That means he's pulling the ball left. If he stays down and chases the ball with his hand, it'll stay on line. Tommy's shaking his head there, trying to figure out what he's doing different.
Boy, Barry Gurney looks like he's got a nice reaction to the 1-2 pocket.
The key for all these players, based on the lane condition that's out there, I mentioned earlier we have 39 feet. They use a spray gun, and then they go over that with a machine to even out the oil, and it's crowned, so there is a little more help in there. Help the bowlers get the ball to the pocket. You still have to keep your speed firm, and you have to roll it well to strike. And both these players, the important thing is to keep the ball firm, not softened up in the shot. If you do that, it's going to go high. It's going to hook early, go through the middle of the head pin.
You know, his only victory that he won in Lansing, he beat Tommy Evans 246 to 163.
Well, that might mean something as a matter of confidence also.
And Joan likes that shot. She also likes the fact that Barry's ahead right now by 10 pins. There's his daughter, Cheryl. Tommy Evans trying to get back on track.
A little more ball speed there. Got it out in front of him and got the good result.
Boy, he certainly is carrying that light hit well. I mean, that doesn't hesitate.
He's got a good end-over-end roll, and the ball isn't deflecting at all. And a lot of that is the surfaces of the ball, and a lot of it's the fact that he's staying with the shot longer. When he stays with it longer, he gets a heavier roll in the back and better direction. By staying with it, I mean chase the ball with your hand. That's really a key factor in good bowling. When you chase the ball with your hand, it creates good direction and good rotation.
Boom for the double to even the match. We'll have to use that as an average builder sometime. Chase the ball with your hand. I'll have to remember that one. I like that.
Well, you always did it. You may not have thought about it, but you always did it well.
I never thought of that phrase before, but I like that phrase. It's very simple, yet it communicates what you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Barry Gurney trying for 3 in a row on 51 and 2. Snaps that 7th pin out. He's used to throwing strikes on this pair. He had 289 in the position round. We asked him about bowling a good game on this pair, and this is what he said.
Well, it certainly can't hurt. I tell you, to have to bowl Dave Davis, who's been an idol of mine all my life, to make the show, my heart was pounding 100 miles an hour. And actually would bowl well, and, you know, I'm very happy, obviously.
Very well indeed. 289 is that's more than very well.
And there we see he's up by 10 pins, working on 3 in a row. 3 strikes or 4 strikes out of 5 frames, 1 open frame. Ooh, little double dribble there, but got the light hit.
He did that.
Well, Barry Gurney working on 4 in a row. He's up by 20 pins at this point in the match. Tommy Evans is going to mount a comeback. Don't go away.
Why would 9 out of 10 customers recommend Century 21 to their friends?
Now what we have is a written handshake, and that's the seller service pledge. They promise that I'll do what I say I'm going to do. Century 21 sells more homes.
Century 21, rated #1.
With Minwax polyurethane, you can do more than admire your wood. You can live with it, too, because Minwax contains pure urethane oil to protect wood while giving it beauty you can really live with. Minwax keeps wood beautiful.
I had a young couple from Sweden come into my store that was interested in buying a neon sign.
They have mailboxes, etc. We can pretty much pack and ship anything.
The first question they asked me is, how do I get it home?
It was a very fragile item.
I made an instant decision to call Mailboxes Etc. my buddy Norm.
The item arrived there with no problem whatsoever.
Norm's Norm. He's just a cool guy.
Give me a break.
Depend on Mailboxes Etc. It's not what we do, it's how we do it.
Later on today, 5 o'clock, live from Del Mar, California, it's the Pacific Classic Alabama Stakes. Don't want to miss that, Alan. I'll be in the air right then, though.
You can still make a little wager. You're here in Las Vegas, Mike.
That's true. You're right. I could sneak down and do that.
All right, Tommy Evans trying to get back in this match. Still early on. Only the 6th frame for him.
Well, he made the adjustment perfect, didn't he?
He has. He looks confident now, and he's lined up, and he's got all he can handle, though. Mr. Gurney is playing very well. I think the only thing that could keep Tommy Evans in this is not how many strikes he can throw, but how many 7 pins Gurney might leave. And then,
make.
And make.
Tommy working on 3 in a row, trying to cut the lead to 10 pins.
Well, he needs this one badly because if he doesn't get it, he can really get buried early. And the 10-pin. A little different release, a little different area of the lane there, Mike. You saw that, I'm sure.
Just a little bit, you know, it's so close, but that light hit that he carries, the ball seems to just, you were talking about entry angle, seems to fall back. That seems to go around a little bit, come in behind the pocket a little bit, leaves that 10-pin every time for him.
That one, his thumb got down a little early, and when your thumb gets down, you get on the side of the ball. You get on the side of the ball, it looks like it's rotating well, but it's really not because you lose leverage. And the ball, it looks like it's rotating, but it's actually just kind of skidding and spinning. Well, let's see if Barry can take advantage of that little mental error, you might say, by Tommy Evans. Keep the pressure on 4 in a row here in the 7th frame.
Wow. I'll tell you what. He looks impressive, Earl.
He does look impressive, and right now, Tommy Evans might be thinking of the last time he bowled this guy on television and what happened.
Barry's only bowled one game on television before. He shot 205 and lost. I think he's going to do better than that this time.
Oh, he didn't bowl on television that time, did he? He just bowled for the top 5 thing there.
Oh, when he won in Lansing, it was
right.
it was a TV format, but there was no actual television.
Right,
yeah.
That's what it was. My mistake. All right, on 5-bagger. This one to really make Mr. Evans think, I've got to have them all. Hold it a little bit. Will it stay there? Solid in the pocket.
Wow. Well, you know, he had, 10 in a row in this pair last night, and what's he got right now? 6 in a row in this pair today. Boy, that's solid 7, or we could be thinking about the 300 game.
That's true. That's very true. He is going right now at a 238 pace. Tommy Evans' maximum is 237. He needs them all to put any pressure he can right now on Barry Gurney. There's one.
And he says, thank you, 10-pin. I didn't think you were going to fall. 9th frame. Down by, 31 pins? Have any chance he's got a strike here.
Yeah, he needs them all. He needs this one, of course. That's obvious. And then 3 in the 10th for 237. Barry Gurney, as I mentioned, going at a 238 pace right now, would need at least 1 strike and a spare to shut out the match.
Tommy on the left lane. Got the 10-pin out that time, Earl.
Got that one. A little more direct, right? Didn't you feel that was a little more direct? Didn't really fluff it quite as much.
Yeah, just a slightly different entry angles. That ball went in there, but it did snap that 10 right out of there.
Well, here's where he decides his own fate. Barry Gurney on a 6-bagger, 9th frame. Oh, my. Almost the 6-8.
Well, he leaves just the 8, but that puts the count even, Earl. I mean,
here we go again.
I don't want to talk about this, but we could have a tie again.
We definitely could. And it's Tommy Evans, remember, needing in that previous match, needing a strike in the 10th to lock it up. We've got 9 spare and ended up in a roll-off. Could happen again right here.
Barry taking his time on this spare.
Well, he's only shot 1 other spare this game, and that wasn't too well. Covers this one.
So his first spare of the match comes in the 9th frame. That's the bad news. The good news is he's still bowling at a 237 pace, and the fate of the match is still in his hands.
This is true. He needs this strike right here to ensure that the worst probably a tie. 2 strikes and he wins the match.
Well, that's pretty clearly defined again, isn't it?
It definitely is. And this is where he's the only shot he's made a really good shot and didn't strike was here. He left the 7-pin in the 2nd frame and missed it. A little more speed there. A little anxious, you think?
Ooh, I guess so.
You can see that.
He could lose now.
He could lose. Bad balance there. Bad balance there. He got a little fast to the foul line. You could see the ball was off his hand sooner. The reason for that, because he was fast to the foul line. He had to stand up a little quick to put the brakes on and stand up, and that makes the ball come off early, and it went high. We've seen it happen so many times, and it's just nerves. It happens to everybody. Cross lane, don't get careless.
The 6-pin. Should be easy for him. And it is. Full count. Anything could happen then, right?
Anything can happen now. There's no question he needs a strike here, really, because Tommy Evans looks up there and says, well, I need a double and 7 to win. It's a lot easier than a double and say, or excuse me, a lot easier than 3 strikes.
And 3 strikes, right.
That 3rd strike is the tough one. The first 2 aren't that tough. That last one's the one that really means it all. Strike here for Barry Gurney for 236. It's bowled a good game. A little more deliberate. A much better shot there. Ball out in front of him. Solid 7.
Well, very professional game, but Tommy Evans with 2 strikes and 9 can move on to bowl for the championship game.
And just 2 frames ago, Tommy Evans barely got the 10-pin out here on this lane, and he was at that point thinking, well, thank you very much for falling down, even though I'm probably going to lose this match. Now he's got a chance to win it. Here we go.
Light, and the nice carry. Very confidently thrown.
That was kind of an excuse me 5-pin. Would you mind falling on the 7 for me? Thank you very much. Let's do it one more time. And we
kind of just mushed over there.
Just kind of like pushed it over there. It didn't hurt anybody. Just kind of pushed him over there in the corner and let them fall on each other.
Is this the big one right now, Earl?
Well, this is the one that you might think is a big one, but I think if he's concentrating well, he's thinking this is an easy one. All I got to do is perform, and he'll get this one. The hard one is when you get up there and you're thinking, I need 9 to win. It's a good shot.
And knocks the 10-pin out. Tremendous clutch performance. Now he's looking at that, what you were just talking about. He needs 9 to win.
Well, see, that's what he might be thinking, and that's the wrong way to think. What he should be thinking is strike. One more strike, and then I go on and bowl for the championship. Right here, if he's thinking I need 9 to win, he might get 8. Safe is not what you want to be. Be aggressive.
And 8, we'd have a tie.
We would have a tie. A little more time here. Oh, boy, did he guide that one or what, Mike?
Well, he got it in for 9, and he's a winner. He's going to move on to face Frankie May in the championship match. Wow. We'll be back with Championship Frame, where we'll take a look at the previous matches. Stay with us.
No matter where I park, it draws a crowd. The 55! The 55! 55. 55. This is one of the last real classics of our time. What do you think of the bumper, huh? Everything's original. And I take care of it myself right down to the oil and the Purelator filter. Pure oil now! The 55! So when someone asks me how I've kept up the engine, I just show them the Purelator. Purelator! I don't think you'd all fit. Legends live. 55. Purelator, Purelator.
Control is everything. Once you got it, everything else just falls in place. That's why I use this stuff, Pert Plus.
One smart shampoo, control-enhancing conditioners for hair that's easy to handle.
It just works. My hair does what I want. That's enough for me.
Pert Plus.
Great hair, no fuss. To prove that Armor All with Dust That X keeps your dash looking clean, even in the dustiest conditions, we're here at the Stancier Tote 500.
We've left this side of the dash untreated, while on the other side we've applied Armor All with Dust That X.
So let's go!
Well, there you have it. Armor All with Dust That X keeps your dash looking clean. Armor All with Dust That X.
Glaxo, where the search for answers never stops. Where the hopes of the millions waiting for a cure live in each of us.
Blue represents electropositive. It's not going to be a straightforward solution.
And sometimes the search can't wait till tomorrow. Glaxo, on the brink of discovery.
And now it's time for Championship Frame. In our opening match, Ted Fraley was in total command.
Well, this was the shot of the match right here for Ted. He needed a strike here for 4 in a row, which he did. And that really put Gene Stus in a place he couldn't get back. Here's a look at it. Ted Fraley, 6th frame, working on 3 in a row. Gene Stus, at this point, was thinking, well, I should have caught that midnight flight back home.
And Ted Fraley, not a whole lot of reaction, but he had a nice reaction on this game. 246 to 163. He moved on then to take on Tommy Evans in our second match.
Tommy Evans needing this spare to win the match, the 7-pin. And, of course, Tommy being a good spare shooter makes it look easy, even though his heart was pounding. And you can see his reaction.
And the 233 tie, but Tommy Evans won in the extra frame roll-up 42-29. In our final match, Tommy Evans needed 9 pins here.
He got the double in the 10th that set up this shot, 9 pins to win the match, and he made sure it was in the pocket. He guided it almost like he was playing shuffleboard, watched the 5-pin go in front of the 7, but all he needed to win was 9.
And he's happy with that. One time he was unhappy about being tapped. There's the final score, 236 to 235. We're going to have our championship match taking on a red-hot Frankie May all week, and when against an equally red-hot Tommy Evans.
Is the gray in your mustache or beard making you look too old? Now there's Just for Men Brush-In Color Gel, specially for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. This brush-in gel stays put to penetrate hard-to-color hair. In 5 minutes, rinse. Your mustache or beard blends with your natural hair color, and it won't fade or wash out.
Now, that's a lot better.
Just for Men Color Gel from the leader in men's hair coloring.
Someday in the future, every car will be maintained by Precision Tune. Every brake job, oil change, and scheduled maintenance service will be performed by our skilled technicians at prices that are the envy of dealerships. All backed by our 12-month, 12,000-mile guarantee, leaving tow trucks free to spend their time on more artistic pursuits. Precision Tune, a lot more than tune-ups.
Fresh squeezed orange juice.
I wonder what the occasion is.
Glad you like it. I wonder if I should tell them it's actually Tropicana Pure Premium Grove Stand.
You know I love fresh squeezed.
Yes, I know.
Maybe it's our anniversary.
Maybe I should tell them it's Grove Stand. Or then I could get another anniversary gift out of this.
Never from concentrate. Tropicana Pure Premium Grove Stand. The taste of fresh squeezed. And also try Pure Premium Original and Home Style.
Hey! What? We got all these extra value meals. And they just gave us one price. Put it on a Big Mac. Take it down. Wait a second. Maybe it goes in a quarter pounder with cheese. Take it up.
Get your choice of McDonald's Big Mac, cheeseburger, quarter pounder with cheese, or McChicken extra value meal. Each just $2.99.
What do you think? Oh, that looks good. Do that. What? What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Be sure to stay tuned tomorrow for the Grand Prix of Hungary, 7:30 or 7:50 a.m. Eastern Time, live from Budapest. In our final match, Tommy Evans taking on Frankie May.
Well, this is it. This is for what could be the biggest paychecks of their careers by far. The difference here, $24,000 for the winner, $12,500 per second. Tommy Evans first up on lane 51 here at the Showboat Hotel, Casino and Bowling Center.
Tommy very relaxed, very confident right at this point. Frankie May looked a little uptight in the practice ball.
I think his ball reaction wasn't as good as it's been earlier, and he's had the ball overhooked for him a little bit, and that is cause for concern because he doesn't overpower the lane. He likes to hook it a little bit, and we'll get our first look here at Frankie May. Watch the release point. It's unique. He likes to get around the side of the ball, throws a little bit of a spinner.
Well, that was a nice reaction.
A little deeper, a little deeper. Farther into the middle of the lane than he's been all week long. In watching him match play last night when the lanes were hooking as much as they're going to hook, he wasn't playing that far in the middle of the lane. So because of the practice and because of maybe a little bit of the lights or whatever it might be here, the ball's hooking a little more.
And there's the reward. Nice looking trophy there going to the winner of this match.
You need 2 men and a boy to carry that out of here. Let me tell you, that's a big trophy.
And of course, $24,000 along with that trophy as Frankie May continues carrying as he has all week long.
Yes, his carry power has been the difference for him. That's the reason he led this tournament by so much. All the players have bowled well and hit the pocket well. The lane condition being such that it wasn't difficult to get the ball in the pocket area. The players that you see here in the top 5 today were the ones that could carry the corner pins. Frankie May carried better than anyone else.
Tommy Evans on the right lane. Keeps carrying that light hit. Boy, just phenomenal how he just shreds him up there. There's Jack Cook, manager here at the Showboat Bowling Center.
Jack's been around forever, does a wonderful job here. One of the really, really strong supporters of professional bowling, and, you know, we've known that over the years, Mike, and appreciate it
on all
very
levels,
much.
too. Yeah.
That's right.
Tommy trying for 3. Oh, with a nice break on the trip 4-pin.
There's a little rollout shot. He got it out there in the dry area of the lane out near the channel. It rolled back up, and instead of continuing to hook, it's set up. Here's a look at it. Watch, it gets it out to the right a little bit more than he normally would, and it will look at it roll up and straighten out in the end. That's rolling out. There's his reaction. Tommy Evans, the king of carry this week.
Frankie May trailing by 10.
Now, all right, now there's a complete opposite reaction. Let's take a look at that one again. Now that one, as far as the other, you watch Tommy Evans' ball go up and roll out. Let's take a look at Frankie May's style while we have an opportunity here. You see him, see the cup wrist? Very important is his game. Watch the thumb as he goes in here. Watch his right thumb. It turns to the inside, and then he gets over the top of the ball, and that's what it's all about as far as Frankie May is concerned. And watch the rotation, and here's the result.
7-pin going last. Trying for 4. Oh! Well, he spun it a little bit too much, Earl. He got that 5-pin out of there at least.
Well, that was just about as hard as Frankie May can throw a bowling ball. He gave it everything he had there, and it just really never went into a roll. It was into the oil. The ball never gripped the lane, and right now he's throwing as hard as he can because he feels the lanes obviously are hooking more than they have for him in the past this week. Cross lane, switching bowling balls for the 7-pin.
As he converts the 7-pin, his wife Marilyn, she looks a little nervous there, a little tense on this whole situation.
I don't blame her. It's awful hard to sit there and watch.
That's his son Ryan. Boy, they're both, it's a big match for both of them. It's the tough part. You sit back and watch and you can't do anything about it.
No, but you can afterwards. You can you can give them all kinds of bad news when they get home. He didn't bowl well enough, right?
Well, right now, Tommy Evans has just got that light hit dancing for him.
He does, and that's really where you want to hit him here on this pair of lanes. If you can keep the ball light in the pocket, your carry percentage is much higher than the solid hit. Especially with today's bowling balls. Don't you agree, Mike? That today's bowling balls, they hit so hard. If you get it into a good heavy roll, the ball actually overhits, and you can leave something in that back row, the solid 8, the solid 9, something of that nature.
I think that's very true. That's why a lot of guys are going to 15-pound equipment.
It's a good point, and that's a good tip right there. The lighter the bowling ball, it doesn't hit quite as hard, and you can counteract some of that overhit that the 16-pound ball might give you.
And the 10-pin falls late. That's how to make the 5-10 with the first ball. Tommy Evans with 5 in a row. Frankie May, give him a little love tap there.
That's exactly what it is, too, Mike. It's a little love tap, and here's a look at it. You see the 6-pin standing in the channel, and it just fall on the 10. It fell because it was tired more than anything else, I think. Frankie Evans got his hands full. Excuse me, Frankie May. He has his hands full. He needs to throw some strikes.
Nice reaction there. Big shot coming up here, though. He's 20 down, 21. He's got to keep pressure on Tommy Evans.
What Frankie May has going for him that the other players didn't is his release. His release is the kind that he gets a spin in the ball. When the ball is spinning, hits the oil, it tends to skid. When it gets into the dry, it goes a little farther before it reacts because it's spinning instead of rolling. And so he gets a bigger pocket area or a better entry angle into the pocket to strike. And that's the reason he has dominated this week. His release fits the lane condition perfectly.
Wider. Oh, the trip 4. Well, both players are carrying the building, so to speak.
This could be, should we go ahead and say, why not? 279
9 to
tie.
300. Oh, Tommy Evans taking a re-rack on this right lane.
You know, what's even more amazing is here we have two guys in their 50s. They're both still obviously extremely talented. They're bowling under a lot of pressure here. $24,000 first place, a major championship on the senior tour here at the Showboat, and they're both just pounding away at that pocket, throwing strike after strike. Like that.
Wow. He has got a variety of ways to make that 10-pin fall.
As so often happens, you know, we've watched bowling. I'm sure a lot of the people that are watching this telecast have watched bowling for a number of years, and you've seen how the scores, as the pressure mounts, the scores tend to go down. Well, that's not happening here. These guys are making it tougher and tougher.
There's Fran Wolf on the right, B. Goodwin on the left, to officials here at the Showboat Bowling Center.
Well, they make it easier for Jack Cook to do his job, that's for sure.
They probably do all of his job.
Well, I'm sure they do, as a matter of fact, now that you mention it. Knowing Jack. Another good shot here by Tommy Evans. 10 in the pit.
Boy, 7 in a row, and Frankie May's got to be thinking, my goodness, what did I do wrong here? I've got to keep striking just to have any chance.
But it's not over. He's just has to, like you say, keep striking, be aggressive, throw strikes, and wait for that, hopefully, that one bad break for Tommy Evans, or maybe a mistake. Doesn't look like he's going to make a mistake, but anything can happen. He could leave a 10-pin or a 4-pin.
And he knocks the 10-pin out there, keeping himself alive. We're going to the 8th frame. He's down 21 pins and must strike.
Yeah, and this is the lane that's been his toughest. It's been the toughest lane for everyone right here. And it surprises me that Frankie May, you know, he has the choice of which lane to finish on and which lane to start on, because he finished higher in the standings. He decided that he wanted to finish on the left-hand lane, which is the toughest of the two, based on ball reaction. All the players have struggled on that lane. Let's see if Frankie, who has struggled on this lane already in this match, can make a good shot here when he needs it. He's really throwing that ball hard.
And leaves the inevitable 10-pin.
Well, you remember last time when he threw it as hard as he could on the left-hand lane, because it is hooking more, it seems, for all the players, and he left the 5-7 briefly. The 5-pin then falling down, leaving only the 7 for an easy spare. This time he leaves the kind of a weak 10 here. The ball speed the key. Overthrowing the ball a little bit, not getting the good rotation.
There's the conversion. Don't forget, we're coming right back on Tuesday night with the national tour from Bedford, Ohio, the Sherwin-Williams Classic. Well, how did I get that out?
I don't know. You live there and you can't even say it, Mike, so how do you expect us to go over that one? That's not too good. All right, on 7 in a row, maybe for the big bucks, Tommy Evans. Pulled it a little bit, it's falling back, and he got the 5.
Again, that's a reliable hit for him all day long.
He pulled it into the oil, the ball went into a good heavy roll in the back, didn't hook, hit half pocket, hit him thin, watch him spin.
Basically, if he strikes here, he locks up the win.
He locks up the win, but he might be thinking 300. And when you do that, you put a little more mental pressure than you need. He should be thinking win the match. Right here, this is the one to win the match. And the championship.
9 in a row, and there is an extra 10,000. One of our players bowls 300, and primarily Tommy Evans. Well, he says, I got a good thing going. I'm not going away from it.
I'll tell you what, he's got it going. He's got a real smooth swing going. His timing is excellent. His balance is great, and he's making great shots.
Well, we talked about it at the top of the show at our open. You mentioned that we could have a 300 game. We're going to have a shot at it in the 10th frame. Frankie May, the best he can get is 258. Poor guy. I mean, he's out of the match.
Well, all you can do is do your best, and Frankie May has done his best. He's had trouble with lane 51. That's been his nemesis. He's done very well on 52. 51's the lane that's been the problem, and of course he determined that he wanted to finish on that lane, which is his 8th and 10th frames, 2 key frames in any match. And of course he left a 7-pin in the 4th frame on that lane, and again there in the 8th frame he left a 10-pin, and now here is 10th frame. Let's see if when he's more relaxed, knowing the match is over, if he can make a little better shot here. Maybe make an adjustment. He's bowling for pride now, Mike.
Well, we know he has a lot of that.
A little more room.
Leaves the 2-pin. He'll make that. finish this probably with 2:38, but the big story right now is can Tommy Evans take out 3 in the 10th as he gets a drink of water in between frames.
That surprises me also. Right now, you don't want to change anything, not only on the outside, but on the inside, the way I look at it.
He must be really cottonmouthed to come over and ask for that water at that point in time.
Well, he's bowled 3 games under the lights also. That's another way to look at it. Maybe he feels a little dehydrated at this point, but hey, going into the 10th frame, needing 3 strikes for $10,000, you've already locked up the championship. Now you need 3 strikes for an additional $10,000, and of course the notoriety of bowling 300 on national television. ESPN is a great place to throw strikes, no question about it, right?
Right. Tommy Evans finishing it out, leaves another 10-pin, 237. He averaged 230 for the week. Hit his average, but it's not enough today.
Now here's the man of the hour, Tommy Evans. Let's watch, see what happens.
And he wants that 10-pin swept off of lane 51. There's our 300s for the week, and we noticed that Bob Alstott, who made the top 24, had 2 of them. Gene Stus, who was on our telecast, had 1. Gene Stus was the last senior. Well, no, actually, Ron Winger was the last senior to bowl 300 on television.
Well, let's see if he's free and easy. Here we go. Oh, he pulled it. Pulled it, helped it, and that's the difference. The ball didn't come off his hand cleanly. He knew that, but he's very happy to be the champion.
Interesting. We noticed, just little things, getting the water, and then just a difference in how he let it go, the concentration.
Right now, I'd like to be able to take his pulse and his respiration.
As the spare, he's going to win the match. Tommy Evans is going to be our champion. We'll be back with a presentation right after this.
Where are you going?
Why, they're all headed to Clearview Lanes and Hennigan's for their old-fashioned days.
Old-fashioned days?
That's right. For the first 2 weekends in August, you can enjoy the prices of the good old days. Bowl for 49 cents a game. And call to find out how to obtain a free bowling ball.
What a great deal.
It sure is, but you'd better hurry. It's only the first 2 weekends in August. So come to the old-fashioned days at Hennigan's and Clearview Lanes, Route 230 in Mount Joy.
Here we are, Sheehy Ford Lincoln Mercury in Lebanon. If you were to visit Reading or Hershey or Harrisburg or Lancaster or York or many others, you'd see this emblem on many cars and trucks. The word has spread about Sheehy's large inventories, and our goal is to sell every car and truck from $300 to $800 less than any other dealer for the same exact model. No matter how far away you live, it's worth a trip to Sheehy. Sheehy Ford Lincoln Mercury on Route 422 here in Lebanon. Unless the Sheehy emblem is on your car or truck, you probably paid too much.
Introducing NASCAR, a celebration of automotive function and form. Exceptional handling for a ride you won't forget. In traffic or on the open road. Experience NASCAR for yourself. Tomorrow, it's the Bud at the Glen at 1 Eastern, live on ESPN. Find out why NASCAR is your car.
The PBA Showboat Senior Invitational is brought to you by McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today. And we see a smiling Tommy Evans, who is this year's Showboat Senior Invitational champion. With him is Jack Cook, the general manager here, with that huge trophy and that giant check of $24,000. Earl, it was a very entertaining and high-scoring show, as we thought it would be.
Well, it was, Michael, and again, the seniors proved that if you want to watch great bowling, don't miss ESPN in the senior tour.
And Tommy Evans proved that he is definitely a force to be reckoned with on the senior tour. A clutch performer, winning the semifinal match and then opening up with 9 in a row in the championship match.
Mike, it's been a pleasure working with you this week. It really has.
Earl, thank you so much for being with us. Tommy Evans has his hand on that trophy. We're going to be back next Tuesday night from Bedford, Ohio. We'll have the Sherwin-Williams Classic with you then. Be sure to join us next Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern Time when the National Tour returns to ESPN with the Sherwin-Williams Classic in Bedford, Ohio. Coming up next, the Firestone Indy Lights Championship.